I had a realization the other day. I'm overwhelmed. Duality. I'm overwhelmed, but I love my fucking life, man. Boom. We did good with the intro music, man. I think we got something here, dude. I really think we do. It's fucking... I wouldn't keep doing it if I didn't think we got something. So, I just gotta keep doing it. And I love to do it. So, little housekeeping. If you're listening, rate, share, subscribe. We want to connect with you. And what that means is something deeper than we just want you to listen. Yeah, listen, that's cool, but we want you to I want you to feel this on a guttural level. I'm sharing myself with you, if you're listening, listen and enjoy, but you could also watch on Big Mood TV. We got this whole thing going, go to the website, bigmoodcoach.com. We have our mental health and sober advocacy group come in. Dylan and I doing this work, sober coaching, sober transport, sober services, mentorship. We're just do a lot of shit. Just do a lot of shit, man. So anyway, so we're here. Let's just breathe. We're here. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today, and I'm very cheeky. I'm a smiley guy today. I'm in a good mood. Did a good meditation. Just had a good day. Had a good weekend with my son. We had a little, regression. We had a little regression in his behavior, but generally it was a good weekend with my son and, social. We had friends over. It's cool to have a friend group. It's cool to have friends. It's cool to have friends. And I am let's see. Give me 1 second. Let's look it up. Let's look at my sobriety counter. I am 1 month and 5 days sober, abstinent from sex. 1 month and 5 days. Beautiful thing. I was talking to a friend today, and she's giving up her salon, her life here, and just moving to Costa Rica. If I didn't have a son, I would 100% do the same thing. I do not want to be driven by this world anymore. It's so exhausting. And I'm a spender. I like shoes and shit. I like stuff, And I want that gone. I want that fucking gone, man. I want that vanity gone. And that's why the beard, I want to sacrifice my looks as well. I don't know if it sounds so weird, to say, but I want to sacrifice the vanity. I still like the way I dress, still care about, got a little Lululemon, I don't know how to balance it. But I just know that I'm not busting any nuts. As Steven says, heavy on the squirt. I am not heavy on the squirt. I am heavy on the no squirting. Yeah. And it feels good. It feels good. I don't feel tempted at all. I don't feel like I'm missing out, I don't feel like I'm missing out. I get lonely sometimes though. I think we all do. But thank goodness Dylan's here. And thank goodness I have good friends, who are around me. I seek counsel. I was talking to a friend of mine. I seek counsel, I call guys who've been sober a long time. I did a lot of crying over the last month. Did a lot of crying. Did a lot of crying. More crying than I've done in my entire sober life. Did a lot of weeping. The other day, I just sat on the couch for 2 hours or 3 hours and just wept and just wept and just wept and just wept. Man, and that leads us to our first topic today: grieving your old self. Not everybody has a story as traumatic and dark as mine. And sometimes it's hard to connect with people who are normal because my story was so dramatic. It's even hard in 12-step because some people are just boozers, and but mine was. What makes mine different? Because you see the alcoholic and the drug addict who just suffers and their life sucks, but I cause harm. I have victims. There's victims of my drug abuse. But it's been 7 years. It's been 7 years. It's almost been a decade. It's almost been a decade of this new life, So a lot of what I've been weeping is this old life, this old version of me. You hear the things that are not serving you, but there's a lot of truth in that. Just giving up on that old version of yourself. Just let it be over. Let that time be over. And get grounded, Got grounded. I feel like today was the day to get grounded. But what does it look like to grieve your old self? So, for me, I'm always going to come through with the same stuff. It's work, it's effort. It's for some people it's the work within the plant medicine, right? For me, it's work within the combo, right? Sometimes it's work within between me and the therapist. Work with me and therapist. My therapist does not understand the quote unquote metaphysical aspects of life. She's very clinical, which I love. Very clinical, very rational, which I appreciate. So working with her, and then it's 12-step. For me, it's working steps and, cleaning up my side of the street, not having, I don't have any open cases. I don't got no open cases, man. So I make little mistakes, Matt. Like we have little things where you have to make amends for. We have to be like, okay, I was a dick. Yeah, I've done it to you. Where it's like little times where I'm just like a little too brash, or we all have those moments. But like when it comes to like actual harm, I just don't do actual harm. And now that I'm single or in a separation, I don't do actual harm at all. I'm not harming anybody. Because like before you harm your partner with you say something hurtful, or you are insensitive of their feelings, or insensitive of their needs, or whatever. But I'm not meeting anybody's needs right now. So I'm not harming it. I ain't got no baggage, which is very nice. It's very nice. It's been a long time. It's nice to not it's nice to not be responsible for anybody's feelings. I hate to say that, because with my past relationship, and you guys you're hearing me go through all the phases of it, and that's what we do here. That's the tight thing about, like, I really think this podcast is fucking tight because you get to see someone live life full, long form, live life, not just vlogging. What did I eat today? Full day of vegan diet. Like some people's vlogs, but like we're fully processing life. When the George Floyd thing happened, you got to watch me fully process that over months. The Donald Trump thing, you got to listen to me fully process that over time. And now with the separation, you're hearing me fully process it over time. So I think that's really fucking cool, man. I think that's really cool, and I'm happy to share it. I'm happy to share it. I get to share it. A friend of mine, Dijon Bowden asked me to do his documentary, being part of his documentary. He did like kind of an interview with me, and there's something, I feel, and I'm thankful for Matt, because Matt, you don't understand what you're doing. you're allowing like a free black person to express themselves on a grand scale. If you think about that on like a deep level, you know what I mean? On a deep level, what we're able to do here and use our voices, you know, and for me to use my voice. So thank you, Matt. Thanks for, you know, allowing me to do that. And thank my parents for setting me up for fucking to do that, you know, because my grandmother couldn't do that. My mom really couldn't do that. They still can't. They work within the system, you know, they work within the system. So they can't fully like express where they're at, you know, express, you know, how they feel and their rage and their just sadness and all that. They don't get to do that because they work within the system. But I do get to do it. And I take it as such a responsibility. I take it like you know, it's important. You know, Dave Chappelle, there's a necessity to speak recklessly, and I find that I feel that necessity like deep inside as well to just be fucking say whatever the fuck you want, fuck everybody's feelings, be free. So part of me feels that, you know what I mean? Part of me feels that like, yeah, I get to say fuck it, but also part of me feels an immense responsibility to speak for people like me and speak for my parents and speak for, you know, represent people well, you know. There's an immense part of me that takes that responsibility on. I was expressing that for a friend. Like I say fucked up shit, you know. If you're my friend, you know I say fucked up shit, you know. But generally, if I broadcast nothing but love and light, and I'm putting love in the world, you know. Put love in the world. And with my clients, I'm trying to motivate and I'm trying to inspire. Trying to motivate and I'm trying to inspire, you know. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. But going back to grieving your old self, that looks different. So for me, it was the combo sessions of like, just, for me, it's wrestle. It's a wrestle. I was talking to my friend today who she has like full weeping, full tears, vomiting, you know, full purge. I'm so jealous because I wish I could just fully release like that. But mine is a wrestle. It's a wrestle. And God always wins. God always wins. It's so humbling. It's so humbling. You know? It's so humbling. It's so humbling. But so there's, you know, the metaphysical world, and there's the plant medicine world, then there's the therapy, and there's a 12-step, and then seeking counsel, right? Like there's days where I call men over and over and over again just to say how I'm feeling, and they guide me through life, you know, guide me through life. But there's a grieving your old self is I think it's part of it. I think for me, grieving my 20s. I'm just grieving my 20s, you know? I'm no longer, would I spend time around people in their 20s? Matt, do you spend time around people in their 20s? It's weird, right? It's weird. And do you ever feel like you want to tell them what's up? And then like, you're going to be an asshole if you tell them what's up. Yeah, it's never received well. It's a waste of time. You know, I have a lot of people in the house. I have like 20-something-year-olds in the house, and they're all on the couch talking about like what's going on in their life, and I just sit here. And listen. It's like, okay, but you know, part of me is like everybody gets to do their suffering. You know, everybody gets to make their mistakes. I don't rob that from people. And a friend of mine was like, "We would love your advice. Leave it up to us to take the advice." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to give you my advice. I'm not going to give you my advice. I'm going to let you crash your car. I'm gonna let you, because this is a very dad thing to do, right? I'll give you all the rope to hang yourself." I had a sponsor who was like that, and I thought I was so mad at him because he was like, he just didn't like baby me, you know. And I'm not gonna baby anybody. I'm just gonna let you suffer, man. Go through it, and that builds character. Builds character. The reason like everything on this podcast that I'm talking about comes from that character building, the suffering and the pain and all that. And now there's wisdom, right? That's the process. That's the fucking process. So I'm not stealing anybody. We did a whole thing on that. I'm not stealing anybody's suffering, bro. You get to do all of it. You get to feel every bit of it. And if you listen to the podcast, you hear the overcoming of that. And you hear a little wisdom here. It's kind of like I have a hard time. No, I don't. Like today, I don't. Like I talked about being pretty wise last time. I think that's all the suffering, like years of depression, years of fucking fucked up, all that fucked up shit. It'll make you have a pretty decent perspective on life. Pretty decent, and perspective in the sense that like, this is here and this is here, and you know what not to do in order to, it's wisdom. It's wisdom. So that's another thing. I want all these people to feel their suffering so they can acquire their wisdom and their lessons learned in life. Their heartbreak. I hear a lot of heartbreak. My boyfriend, this. People's boyfriends relapsing. Like, how do I deal with that? I'm like, you deal with it how you're gonna. You stay with them and ride the wave, or you stay with them, ride the wave, or you leave. Either way, be okay with whatever choice you make. You know what I mean? Be okay. And if there's pain that's involved in the choice you make, then that's the pain that that you're choosing, which is cool, man. Be where you're at. Be where you're at. I try not to rob, like, especially being in 12-step and being around it a long time. Like I got to do all the suffering I'm talking about in recovery. I did it in front of people. They watched me do it. Like my first 3-4 years, people watched me just make a shit show of myself. Just make me just train wreck of my life. People got to watch me make all those mistakes, and I don't want to rob anybody else of that. I'm not saving anybody. Hopefully I can guide people and motivate people, but I'm not saving anybody, I'm trying to save myself. I had a realization the other day. I'm overwhelmed. Duality. I'm overwhelmed, but I love my fucking life, man. I love my life. Deeply. I was talking to Dylan. Dylan was laying on the couch, and I'm sitting in the rocking chair, and I'm like, man, we live a fucking cool ass life, dude. We live a cool ass life. Yeah, man, we're lucky. We're lucky. We live a cool ass life, man. But you got to be grateful. That's when we did that whole Be Grateful Bitch podcast. But it's so, all these things that people talk about. Matt, you could pull that desk up. Okay. Matt's over here on the 1s and 2s. He's on the 1s and 2s. But yeah, like all that gratitude shit people talk about, man, be grateful. Be grateful for the life that you have. Be grateful for the life that you have. Yeah, man, but grieving your old self. How we doing on time, Matt? 20. I'm so impressed by it. It's like I'm tickled. I'm so tickled by it. Man. It's like right on the dot. Breathe that out. But yeah, grieving your old self. Let it go. Just let that shit go. Maybe other people don't have a hard time letting it go. Maybe other people don't have a hard time letting it go. But I know I did, and I know some people do, And if you have a hard time letting it go, I'm gonna tell you, just let it be over. Just let that part of your life be over. Be who you want to be. A big part of my coaching and my mentorship is like, you design the life that you want. You design your life. You are the artist of your own life. There's suffering to get there. Like the life that I love right now, there was suffering to get here. But you design your life. fuck, man? You design it. You know? So, just be who you want to be and be willing to go through everything you're going through to get the life you want. You know what I'm saying? Another note I wrote here is, I said, okay, if you know me in person, if you know me in real life, and obviously you hear it on the podcast, I'm fucking big. I'm 6'3". Oh, I lost 15 pounds, by the way. Shout out to where my abs are coming. I'm like, hey, baby. My goal is to be down to 250, lose almost 40 pounds in the next 3 months, which I will do. I've done it before. That's the one thing. Once you do it once, you can do it again. So once God does it once, he'll do it again. No mistakes. But when you see me, like, I'm a big guy. And I have a lot of opinions. And I'm just a big energy. Whether it be sometimes it's big sad energy. Well, this is a jam. But I'm a big energy, and I felt throughout my whole life, especially with you can look at a mental health diagnosis as a few things. Like, you can look at it as this is a disability, or you can look at it as like, this is just a, idiosyncrasy. You know what I mean? This is just neuroses that just it's part of your life. Sorry to sniff on the microphone. But you're the right amount. I'm the right amount of me. Not too much. I'm the right amount of Eric. I don't have to, pacify myself, make myself small, because sometimes I want to hide, man. Getting a lot of energy work done and having a lot of, people come in and work on me recently. And my instinct is to put the covers over my head when I feel like I'm vulnerable, It's interesting because on this podcast, I have no problem doing it. No problem doing it on a microphone in front of cameras. But behind the scenes, when I'm, doing the deep work, I don't want to be seen. Don't see me. So much of my life, you've heard me say this, so much of my life I want to hide. So much of my life I want to hide. But, I'm the right amount of me. And sometimes you got to hide. That's fine. Like, some people say, like, I have Dylan, he's like, Eric, you are 7 years in, still fucking delusional. Because I think everybody hates me all the time. I think I'm not received well. And that's simply not true, Dylan says. But yeah, I'm the right amount of me. And you're the right amount of you. You're the right amount of you. Don't change yourself. We're going to be quick on the podcast today. But we've been doing these short ones. These quick 30-minute ones. You don't have to. There's not a lot of ranting needing to be done these days. There's a lot of contentment going on. Matt, have you noticed that? There's a lot of, not a lot to rant about. So it's like, Matt's very, I speak very, Matt's always like, don't just waste dead air. Don't just start, when I'm interviewing people, he's like, when it gets stale, just end it. Right. And with the podcast, when I get to a place where it's just I'm making up shit to talk about, there's no sense in doing that. It's like, what are you thinking? Yeah. Sometimes you make shit, sometimes I do. Sometimes I flow with the stream of consciousness and we go for 50 minutes, right? But it's just been the past 3 have been 30-minute little episodes, because there's just a lot of contentment going on. A lot of contentment, a lot of acceptance. I will tell you, this separation, this song is perfect for it. This separation has been one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging thing I've experienced in my recovery. I weep and I grieve this relationship. In grieving this relationship, I'm grieving an old part of myself. This is high level kung fu shit right now. But that version of me with this human being is gone now. That version of me with this human being is gone now. And I will say that I'm very proud of the person I am today. I like myself. I don't have a general disdain for myself. I used to have a general disdain for myself. Like, you know what? I like myself, man. You know, so I don't know, man. But there's a general level of, like I said, Dylan and I were sitting here. We live a pretty cool fucking life. Man. So yeah, wrap it up really quick. We've been doing jujitsu. That's how I've been losing weight. Dylan got me doing jujitsu at least 2 days a week because with at work, when work gets hectic, we have to shut shit down. You know, Dylan especially. And when Dylan has to go out in the field, I don't fucking go have fun. You know what I mean? You know, I don't go like, I'm going to jiu-jitsu, have fun getting punched in the face by by a schizophrenic guy, you know, like that doesn't feel right, you know. And then I need to be by my phone. If something happens, I need to, you know, if mom calls me or I just need to be by my phone, you know. So yeah. Gotta make sure. Yeah, but we've been doing jiu-jitsu. Sorry, I got brain fog. We've been doing jiu-jitsu, and it's very humbling because I suck. And then like my mobility is bad, but like my body is changing. Like I don't have like the shrinking that I'm doing, and like the guys. Tio's one of the elder statesmen at the school. He's very nice. Everybody's so nice, you know. And Tio's always like, "Hey man, you're gonna get in jiu-jitsu shape. No more bodybuilding shape." And part of me is like mourning that too, because like I look at bodybuilders on Instagram and I'm like, I want that, but you know what? I'm not gonna do what it takes to have that. I'm not gonna do what it takes to have that. It's not what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? But I wanted something I can be excited about, and jiu-jitsu. Like tomorrow morning. Fucking ready to go. Wake up at 6:15, gives an opportunity to get your mind right, you know. And then shout out to On It. Obviously, we got our Gorilla kettlebell set. We got 18, 36, and I just ordered a big old 54 pounder. And we're getting, I'm doing something different. I'm 250. Here we come. 250, best shape of my life. You know, in my 30s, you know, grieving that 20-year-old self. My 30s are going to be the best years of my life. We're going to wrap it up on that. How much time was that? 33 or 38 on the dot? 30 on the dot. Let's wrap it up. You know, grieve, let go of that old self. Let it be over. Just let it be fucking over, man. Just let it be over. And, design your life. We're just going to run through the whole thing. Design your life. You get to build the life you want. You know what I mean? You're not a victim. You get to build the life you want. If you want something different, do something different. And you're not too much. You're the right amount of you. You are the right amount of you. I'm not too much either. I feel like that. I want to hide. Don't see me. No one wants to talk to me. No one wants to be my friend. No, you're the right amount of you and I'm the right amount of me. So we're going to wrap it up there. I love you, okay? Today was very connected. I feel very connected today. It was a very loving, connected day for me. So yeah, I hope that was expressed over these last 30 minutes. And if you listened all the way through, I hope you got something, We just want to connect with you. And like I said, when we want to connect with you, we're doing something different. We're fucking Care Bear shooting our hearts out. shooting our hearts out here. Matt, do you think I give a lot? Do you think that's what I'm doing? Does it feel like that? 'Cause that's what I'm going for. I'm going for like just shoot out, the human experience. Shoot out the human experience and be as raw and vulnerable in the human experience as possible, and allow yourself to connect with other people. You know what I mean? I'm a free and intimate person. And I think I embody the freedom that my parents and my grandparents fought for, and the intimacy that I allow myself to have on the podcast. And, I'm, just want to be open. So we'll wrap it up there. Like, subscribe, share, all that. And give us a follow, Eric_Big Mood Coach on Instagram, bigmoodcoach.com, transformational mentorship. 8 to Great, 4-week intensive. If you need sober services, if you have someone struggling, reach out. We'll come to you. Mental health advocacy. It's Big Mood MSAG. That is a new branding. No more fitness and none of this. We left it alone. I feel like it's gone. Like the fitness coaching, it's just not. I just don't have it in me. The recovery work and the mental health work is where it's at. So we'll wrap it up there. We love you. Matt loves you, even though he doesn't tell you. We're out of here. Peace.